Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing What If Deku Was Nightmare Sans Part 2, so without for any further ado, let's jump in. So last time we left off, Deku and Dream just were about to take if I'm correct, they were doing their first day at UA. So first day at UA, they walk up to they walk up to Class 1A, and Dream opens the door. Dream goes in first, and Nightmare comes up behind him, or Deku. And Deku closes the door behind him. And some people are just like, well, most people are focusing on the fight between Ida and Bakugo. But some people notice him. Excuse me. Oof. And some people actually know who they are. And then one of them points out, "Hey, it's the guys who scored first place in the entrance exam." And then like half the class looks over. And then they get swarmed by multiple people. Like that entire half the class. And then Deku was like, "Nope, nope, nobody, nope, 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 nope." He teleports to the back of the classroom into his seat, and he tries to play it off, and tries to make himself look inconspicuous. That's what he's trying to do. And Dream is just getting swarmed by this class. Like, they're asking him, like, what's his quirk and all this stuff. And then he's just like, oh my god. Like, Deku kind of feels bad for him, because he kind of left his brother up there just to deal with them. And, yeah. And then after it all, like, settled down, Deku walks up to Dream to check on him, see if he's okay after that. And then Uraraka comes up behind him. And they both turn around to see Uraraka, because they heard someone coming up behind him. And then basically what Uraraka does is thanks them for saving her from the 0-pointer. And then let's say everyone was a little too loud, and Aizawa sits up, and before he Deku and Dream see him, and then they're like, oh god, teleport. They both teleport to their seats, and as Aizawa looks over the class, he's like, "Why can't all you brats be like those two?" And he points to Deku and Dream, and then everyone's like, "But what?" No, they're just like in complete shock, because they just saw Deku and Dream standing up talking to someone, and then they blink and they're in their seats. Aizawa complimenting them. But then Aizawa gives this little speech of that, how like, we're not here, you're not here to make friends, you're here to become heroes and all that stuff. Then he hands out the workout uniforms and goes to the and everyone goes to the lot. Well, most people are arguing about your orientation, and then Deku and Dreamer just look at each other. They stand up, they grab their stuff and go to the locker room. And Deku and Dream are are the first ones there, because everyone's ranting on about orientation. Because they gotta take a test and not go to orientation. Because they're spoiled brats. Then they get changed, everyone gets out to the ball field, and Deku and Dream are just waiting out there for everyone, because they're taking so long. You know what? Let's say everyone came in as they were leaving, and Deku sees Mineta talking about the people to the girls' locker room, and he's like, nah, we ain't having that. He touches the wall. The black goo covers the hole and hardens. and yeah, and then he's like, why'd you do that? And then Deku slaps him with one of his tendrils. He's like, shut up. And then everyone's just looking at Deku and is like, what's his problem? And there's nothing wrong with him. He's just a cold edgelord. That's the best I could describe this character for you. But they get out for the Quirk assessment test, and let's say Deku goes first because Dream wanted him to, and Aizawa throws Deku the ball, and what Deku does, he kind of forms one of his tentacles around his arm, and then he changes into a claw, which is kind of just make his arm like super big, and he has the ball and he throws this thing. He gets about 256,000 meters, and then everyone's in shock except for Dream because he expected it. He's like, yeah, that's my brother, showing off but doesn't really care. And then Dream gets the ball, and he kind of like infuses positivity into the ball is what I'm gonna call this. And he throws it, and it's like the ball is basically like glowing gold now. And he throws the thing, and it sort of like teleports like very softly, which speeds it up. And let's say Dream hits exactly where Deku's ball was, just because of plot convenience. And let's say Deku and Dream get first place in everything. They tie for first place in everything except for the ball throw, because they can't really beat Infinity. So they're like top of the class. And now for the heroes versus villains thing. So it's like the next day in class, and All Might slides in through the door. He's like, I am here. And everyone starts freaking out because it's like, oh my god, it's All Might. It's the number one hero. And then there's just Deku, who's like, oh cool, it's All Might. And then he doesn't care. And then All Might basically explains what they're doing, the hero versus villain thing. Ow. And so the teams are gonna be Deku and Uraraka versus Dream and Ida. And so yeah, and then they get there to the building, and let's say Dream and Ida are the villains, and Nightmare and Uraraka are the heroes. So it starts, and basically their Deku and Uraraka's plan is for Uraraka to come in from the top, to float to the top of the building, come through the top, and go and work her way down to find the bomb, and for Deku to distract by making a lot of noise and fighting both of them. And Dream and Ida's plan is for Dream to basically full frontal assault while Ida guards the bomb, trying to, hold the line. So let's say Deku and Dream meet up. Let's say they meet at the second floor. And let's say they did a lot of sparring during the 10 months. Like, they've sparred. And then Deku's like, so here we go again. And Dream's like, I guess so. And they get readied up. Like, Dream summons his bow, and Deku gets ready with his tendrils, and they start going out at it. They ain't holding anything back, because they know each other's limits. And then the people watching in like the booth, where like everyone's watching, and they're like, oh my god, they ain't holding anything back, huh? And Todoroki's like, yeah, they might be a good second contender next to me, because he's got that, I'm better than anyone I can't speak. Mortality? Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Morality? Something like that. Drilled into his head by Endeavor. So he thinks he's better than everyone, but isn't really as outshowing as Bakugo. But they're going at it, And let's say Dream does this rapid fire move with his positivity arrows. Oof. And let's say Deku gets like shot to pieces but he regenerates because of his healing factor, and his body's all like goopy and like it's basically still reforming. And Deku talks in this like he he's like mad, and he talks in this devilish voice. He's like, "So, you want to play hardball?" And he summons this tendril claw, and it's about the size. It's about like 6 feet wide and 10 feet long, and he swings the thing, and it brings down the whole story. Like that whole story was about to be gone. Let's just say it was holding on by like a thread. And then once Deku completely reforms, they still keep going at it. And let's say Uraraka, let's say she found the bomb. She's like outside the bomb. And then and she's basically talking to Deku while he's fighting Dream. Like Deku's just basically listening. And let's say Deku actually was able to restrain Dream with one of his tendrils and then wrapped him up with the capture tape. And let's say, and then Deku talks to Uraraka on the comms, and he's like, "Where are you at?" And she's like, "I'm out. Where the bomb is." I'm like, and Deku's like, "Specifics. I can teleport. Where are you?" And she's like, "Oh, 5th story, this specific room." And then he teleports there, and he's got a plan. He's like, what he's got to do? He sort of like makes this. I'm giving him the ability for full total manipulation of his claw, of his tendrils. So he kind of makes this blade claw, which I'm coming up with, like on the dot. This is off my head, and he cuts a circle into the concrete, like on the back wall where the bomb is. He cuts a circle, and it's so clean that like it doesn't make a noise, and he slowly pulls it out with one of his claws. And then basically the plan is for Deku to go full frontal assault through the door, and for Uraraka to come up behind and get the ball. I mean, not the ball, the bomb. It's not a ball, it's a bomb. So that's what they do. Deku walks back around to the metal door, and what he does, he kind of makes one of his tendril claws, and he jams it into the door, and he rips the door off its bearings and throws it aside like it's nothing. And Ito wasn't expecting this. He's like, Jesus, what was that? And then he sees Deku, and he sort of does a reciprocal burst at him and tries to kick him. And then let's say he actually does land a hit on him, but like Deku like barely flinches, and he's like, okay, my turn. And Deku pulls back with one of his tendril claws and basically backhands this man's into a wall. Jesus, that's a tongue twister. But yeah, and then All Might's like, hero team wins! And then Ito looks around to see Uraraka touching the bomb. And he's like, dang it. Oh, let's do that troublemaker again. And Dream's like, fair game. Ooh. And let's say it's the week of the USJ attack, not like the day. Let's say that. And basically Aizawa's going over like their trip to the USJ. And while like he's explaining what it is, he's like, how can I do this? And then Dream's thinking, this ought to be fun. Well, that's probably where I'm going to leave it off here, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe. And if you got any recommendations for this series, please comment them. Because I'm always open for ideas. And I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.